Hello and welcome back to the Sports Sermon. I'm Dylan Staggy.
I'm Jason Gandhi.
I'm Zach Munson.
And I'm Dan Majors.
And today we are back to talk about the hometown team, the Indianapolis Colts. So let's get right into last year. Last year it was choke city in the first 6 weeks. The Colts started off 2-4, but had some very close games and easily could have gone 6-0, and ended up 8-8, missed the playoffs. But this offseason, the good Lord allowed Jim Irsay to fire Ryan Grigson and hire Chris Ballard, who had a fantastic offseason with the Colts, a great draft, and added lots of depth through free agency, especially on the defensive side. So let's look at the depth chart this season. Jason, what do you have for the offense?
All right, so looking at the quarterback spot, they've got a top 10 quarterback at Andrew Luck. Then they've got Scott Tolzien, so they better hope like heck that Luck stays healthy. At running back, they have Frank Gore. They just signed Christine Michael, but he's
on
IR now. So they've got Robert Turbin, and then I actually like the draft spot of Marlon Mack. I think he's got a lot of potential and someone that could be a little sleeper this year. Wide receiver, it's not deep. It's T.Y. and Dante Moncrief. I don't like Dorsett.
Not deep.
I think
What do you
Dorsett.
mean?
They have 4 good wide receivers.
Yeah.
Dorsett's not good.
They got
solid. I mean,
He's
like,
not.
Kamar-
I like
Aiken.
Kamar Aiken. I
he's
like
good for a third
Aiken.
or fourth.
I'm not a fan of Dorsett, but that's really all they have. I think it's T.Y. and Dante. I'm not even that big on Moncrief. I think he's okay.
This is a Colts hater right here.
And then tight end wise, they've got Jack Doyle, let Dwayne Allen go, and let Kobe Fleener go the year before. So they got Doyle leading their tight end troops. Behind him, they've got Eric Swoop and Mo Alley Cox, someone they remember from VCU basketball. The O-line is young, not very good now. I think they will be in a few years, but their O-line is going to struggle this year, but they've got potential in the next few years.
Yeah, I think the O-line's definitely going to be better, not great, but at least average or a little below average. On the defensive side, a lot of depth going for the Colts. The defensive line, led by Kendall Langford, Jonathan Hankins, David Perry, and the new draft pick Terrell Basham. A lot of depth there. Not really any star. Maybe Hankins, who got signed free agency this offseason and actually said the Colts would be the best defense in the AFC this year. I don't know about that, but the defense has definitely improved. When you look at the outside linebackers, a lot of talent signed in free agency. Jabal Sheard, John Simon, and Barkevius Mingo all coming in. The inside linebackers not looking as hot. Antonio Morrison, Anthony Walker, Sean Spence, and John Bostic. And the quarterback position, the number one, pretty solid, Vontae Davis. Also got Rashawn Melvin, the new draft pick Quincy Wilson, and Darius Butler. So besides Vontae, not really have a number 2, but Melvin, Wilson, and Butler are all solid number 3 or 4 guys that can play. At the safety position, Malik Hooker, the new draft pick at 15, Clayton Gethers, and the worst football player of all time, TJ Green.
Oh, boy.
He
Whoa.
is terrible.
How do you feel about TJ Green?
He is terrible.
Oh, boy.
Hopefully he's better this year, but last
boy.
year, every time he stepped on the field, he made a dumb play.
Yikes. All right. Dan, special teams guru, what do you got?
Well, this might be the only interesting special teams to talk about this year, as Pat McAfee retired and left the best kicker and punter duo in the league. Jeff Locke will replace him at punter. Vinatieri will stay on kicking duties. Chester Rogers will be returning punts, and Josh Ferguson will be returning kicks.
All right, so let's move into the schedule for this year. We're going to go game by game and predict every single game for the Colts this year. So let's start it off in Week 1. Dan, who do you think wins the Colts when the Colts travel to Los Angeles to play the Rams?
I've got a win Week 1 here. I think the Rams' defensive line will do damage on the offensive line of the Colts, but I think Colts will get it done anyway.
Week 1 against the Rams, I got the Colts winning. Hopefully Luck will be back by this time with the off-season surgery with the shoulder. Hopefully he's back. It's not rusty, but I don't think it should be that tough going 1-0.
Week 1, I'm going to say the Colts start off with a loss against the Rams. The Rams are not great, but they're gonna have a decent year this year. Go 6-10 or 7-9.
Name me a receiver on their team. But that's not Tavon Austin because he's hurt.
I mean,
They're irrelevant. They're so bad.
they are not gonna be that bad.
Their
this year.
defense is good, but offensively, oh my god.
Are you a Goff believer?
No, but I think the Rams are just gonna be better this year. I don't think Goff will be great. He'll be average, but
Okay.
better than last year.
I like the Colts getting the win there, and I don't think it's close.
All right, week 2, we've got at home against Atlanta. Not Atlanta. We've got at home against the Cardinals, and I've got a loss here for the Colts. I think Cardinals are a lot better than the Colts. One of the best teams in the NFL compared to.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I do not know.
The Cardinals, one of the best teams in the NFL. I think they're a playoff team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I actually have the Colts winning this game simply because it's the home team. Obviously, the Cardinals had a tough year last year, not making the playoffs, but it was a down year. I think it'll be a lot better this year, but I do have the Colts pulling this one out.
Yeah, I also have a win for the Colts in week 2. I don't love the Cardinals. I don't hate or love the Cardinals, but Carson Palmer is definitely getting older, and they lost Tony Jefferson and Calais Campbell on the defensive side. The Colts get a win at home in week 2.
Yeah, I like them losing to the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are a playoff team. I think Palmer and Fitzgerald play better.
Old.
And, I mean, they might be old, but they're so good.
Yeah.
And then David Johnson's the third best running back in the league, in my opinion. I don't know. The Colts defense, despite what you guys want to say, is not going to be good this year. And the Cardinals offense is going to torch them, I think, week 2. That's because the only reason I say that is because it's too early to have injuries, and it's too early to be old from the season. I think Palmer and Fitzgerald can at least last 2 weeks in the season. That's the only reason I have you know what I mean, just because they're not going to be banged up by then.
All right, in week 3, we've got a home game against the Browns. Quoting John, this is a bye week for the Colts.
Yeah, that was the Ravens preview. I think it was.
No,
Or the
Steelers.
Steelers. Yeah.
Yeah, I also got the Colts winning this one. Not too much to say. The Colts are going to easily win.
Yeah, I think this will be the coming out game for their average defense this year. Finally breaking out of the below average realm and getting a big help in a win versus the Browns.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that. But I think that they get the win. I think it'll be close, 17-10. I don't think it'll be a blowout.
What
is wrong with you?
I don't think it'll be I think Colts
the
get the
Browns
win.
will be better this year.
Yeah, but
That's
they're
not a playoff team.
I mean, the Colts aren't a playoff team either. The Browns, and so I think the Browns defense keep it close. And I don't know. I don't think the Browns have a chance to win. I just don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be fine.
All right, in week 4, we've got at Seattle, and I've got a loss here. I think going into Seattle, it's not fun. Colts will not do well.
Yeah, I got the Colts losing this one. This will be possibly their biggest non-divisional game of the season. Luck and his receivers going against the aggressive and tough Seattle secondary, especially since it's at Seattle, and the Colts are gonna get the loss.
Yeah, the Colts going across the country to play Seattle and that great defense in that loud stadium. I don't think the Colts get a win here and drop to 2-2.
Yeah, I agree. It's not close. Seahawks win.
All right, week 5, we've got at home against the 49ers. I've got a win here. Colts will do well at home. If it was on the road, it might be a little bit different.
What?
But
They're playing the 49ers, Dan.
The 49ers also
terrible.
aren't that bad this year. I think the Rams will be the worst. I think
the
they'll.
Colts aren't that great.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys are
You
thinking.
think they suck?
They do. They're not good.
They went 8-8 with Luck.
The
not even
roster is
playing
way better this year, and they went 8-8 last year.
without even playing them much.
How is it way better? It's not that much better.
Look at the defense. They signed so many guys.
You even said they started the season 2-4 and easily could have been 6-0.
Yeah.
I didn't say that one time. He said that. I did
But
not say that.
There's no way you can disagree. They choked away every one of those games and had the lead and had an opportunity to win.
That's awesome. You still didn't do it. It doesn't count. You can be as close as you want if you don't win.
Okay.
I'm not thinking Jonathan Hankins is going to come in and be the greatest defensive tackle.
Did we say that?
I mean, that's one
No,
of the big
they-
signings
Bucks
they
gonna be
have.
better this year.
Who else are they going to have?
Better
sign?
defense.
Who? Who besides Malik Hooker and Jonathan Hankins? That's a big name.
Yeah.
Hooker's not going to be that good. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
We can't be worse than we were last year. He mentioned.
I agree, it'll be better.
He mentioned
I said-
8 names.
Yeah, they
John
brought
Simon, tons of
Oh,
people.
what team did Jonathan Simon play for last year?
the Texans.
Okay, someone that didn't look that
Jamal
up.
Sheard.
Yeah, he's decent.
Barkevius
He is
Mingo.
decent.
He's
a lot of
awesome. He
talent.
got dropped by the Browns. He's good.
Jamal Sheard is decent.
Like I said, Barkevius Mingo
you
is
switch
not.
Sarcasm. I can't tell.
No. Sheard's a solid player. I like him and Hooker in a few years. Hooker's a rookie.
You don't like Hankins? At all?
No, he's not. Like he's fine. Like he's average. Okay,
He's not average. He's better than average. He was part of that Giants defense last year that was one of the best in the league.
No. I mean, he was on the team, but it's not like he led them in sacks or anything. Like, he was fine.
No, he's not going to lead them in sacks. He's the defensive tackle.
He's average in the league. Why are we thinking Jonathan Hankins is so good?
Well, you just said
No one knows who he is 2
Yeah.
years ago. No one knew who he was. Like, he's not that good.
I did.
Like, Terrell Basham. Like, he was... I like the rookies more than I like the guys they signed. Like, I like their draft clock more than the guys they signed. I like Terrell Basham. I like Malik Hooker in a few years, and I like Marlon Mack on the offensive end. The free agent signings were not that good. They were better, but they're not like... It's not like they signed the greatest outside linebacker like or anything.
They didn't do anything to totally change the team.
Exactly. They're
Their
getting...
whole defense is different.
Yeah.
But not that much better. It could be different,
Yeah,
but not
that's
better. You
It
like
was
you can
terrible
You
last year.
cannot get worse than last year.
agreed. I don't have them. I have their record going down because I think they're going to lose. I think other teams get better. Just I don't think they get any better. I think they stay the exact same as last year. By their production, I don't think they get much better. I think other teams got better in their division, and that's why they're going to come in third in their division, maybe last.
Insane.
So do
Okay,
you-
we'll
We're only
see.
5 right now.
So I
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
said you said
49.
close Niners
When Dan
win.
said it would be close.
It will be.
right.
If it was on the road.
So I got the Colts winning this one, easily winning this one. Gonna go 4-1, and Gore playing against his old team. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a big game.
Yeah, by week 2 of 3 for the Colts against the Niners at home. No reason they should lose there.
Yeah, I like it as a trap game between the Seahawks and the Titans. I think people are going to overlook him, and that's why it's close, but the Niners do lose, and the Colts get the win. I don't know why you guys...
Every Colts win is close.
Yes,
I mean,
they're not good. You guys are so, as Colts fans, you guys are so like optimistic every year. They're not good. Oh my gosh, they're not a good team. They have Andrew Luck, and that is it. Like their offensive line
No
cannot
T.Y.
protect the guy.
T.Y. Hilton is not good leading receiver last year.
All right, week 6.
All right, week 6, go at Tennessee. This is a Monday night game. I've got a loss for the Colts here. I think they split with Tennessee this year. And yeah.
I also have a loss for the Colts here, especially since it's at Tennessee. And I think Marcus Mariota takes a huge step this year, and I think the Colts are going to lose this one.
Yeah, like Dan said, I have them splitting with the Titans, and they lose the one on the road. So, loss in week 6.
I also have a split. I think the Titans win here on Monday night.
Week 7, we go at home against Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville will be amazing this year, but I do think that they will be the Colts. Split with them probably. And, yeah, Jacksonville.
I got the Colts winning this one. The Colts have won 4 straight against the Jaguars in Indianapolis. I think they continue it. And I'm not a huge believer in Blake Bortles at all. And Colts are going to win.
Yeah, I mean, the Jags will be decent, and they look great on paper again, but the Colts get it done at home.
You guys know how big I am on the Jags and how low I am on the Colts. I think this is a blowout for the Jags.
Blowout
At home!
Yes.
Oh, my.
I don't know why you guys think the Jags are going to be like, well, I don't think that you understand the defense is not going to be that good. They were 30th out of 32nd in points per game last year. Bortles is going to improve with more weapons. They got Calais Campbell. Their defense is going to improve. I agree that they look on good on paper, but if they look good on paper every single year and they get better and better on paper, eventually it's going to translate.
No, we never had a good defense on paper, so now we actually don't have an average defense.
No, I'm saying the Jaguars. Every year,
Oh.
Dylan's right. We kept saying that they look good on paper. They keep getting better and better on paper. One of these times, they're going to play good. I think this is their year. I don't think Bortles is going to do anything special. I think he'll manage the game fine. I don't think he'll be throwing 3 picks a game again. But I don't know why. Like, I'm just not high on the Colts defense. I think their offense is fine, but defensively, it's not good. And now they've got Leonard Fournette back there, which I've told you guys it's going to be a top 5 fantasy running back this year. I really like the Fournette signing. I like what they're doing in Jacksonville down there, and I don't like what's happening in Indianapolis. They do not have any consistency on the defensive end, and I don't think as a unit they're going to come together, especially in week 7 in the season. Maybe as the season gets going, in the double digits, they start figuring it out. I don't think so.
All right, week 8, we go at Cincinnati. I've got a loss here for the Colts. I think Dalton will throw all over the below-average secondary.
I also have the Colts losing this game. That Dalton AJ Green duo is pretty tough, especially in fantasy. I got the Colts losing.
I think the Colts go on the road and get a win at Cincinnati. Andrew Luck in the offense will just run all over the Bengals' aged, very old defense.
Joe Mixon running all over the Colts.
I mean, he might, but
I like Joe Mixon.
Andrew Luck in the offense will be better.
I have the Colts dropping their third straight, and so I'm not big on the Bengals. I think they'll be fine. I think the Colts will be fine. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout either way. I think it'll be a close game, but the Bengals come out on top.
All right, week 9, we go at the Texans, and I've got a loss here for the Colts. I think they split with the Texans also. I think the offensive line for the Colts will not do great.
Did you go 4 straight losses for the Colts right now?
No,
3?
not 2.
Oh, I thought you had them losing.
We'll have 3. But
Okay, my bad.
I have the Colts winning this game at Houston. Last time they played in Houston, they blew a 14-point lead in the final 5 minutes. I don't think that'll happen again. I do think it'll be a really close game. I think it'll be a luck comeback game coming from behind. But yeah, I got the Colts winning.
I also think the Colts will play better against the Texans this season. They blew 2 leads against them, and they come out ready to play. But I think Deshaun Watson has a good game at home, and the Colts lose this one.
We have not agreed on one game. I think the Colts blow out the Texans here. I think Deshaun Watson's going to struggle this year. I don't think Lamar Miller's going to play well. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins is going to have a good season. I like the Texans coming in last in the division. I think the Colts win this one, and I don't think it's close. I think the Colts don't play that well, but the Texans just aren't good. I think the Colts blow them out.
All right, week 10 at home against Pittsburgh. I don't think this one will be close. Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, I got the Colts losing this one to the Steelers. Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, so many playmakers in the field. I don't think the Colts defense can stop them. I got the Steelers winning.
Yeah, Steelers always play the Colts well. The Colts dropped to 5-5 from me after week 10.
I think the big 3 for the Steelers is just too much for the Colts, and I think they drop that one as well heading into the bye week.
All right, week 11 is the bye week, so week 12 at home against the Titans, and I've got a win here for the Colts. I think, like I said before, they will split with Tennessee. And
I also have the Colts winning. I also have them splitting with Tennessee. I think this will bring them to 7-4.
Yeah, just like you guys split, and the Colts win the home game, rested after the bye, and get the win versus the Titans.
I agree. I think the Colts do win. I think this is the last Titans of the season for them. Looking at their schedule, I think this is the last loss they have. They struggled this game, but they get back on track, and I think the Colts get this win. One of few for me this season.
All right, week 13 is at Jacksonville. I've got a loss here for the Colts, splitting again with Jacksonville. And Jacksonville will be way too much more.
I actually have the Colts sweeping the series with the Jaguars and going 8-4. Once again, I'm not a believer in Blake Bortles. They do have a good defense, but I think the Colts will pull this one out.
Yeah, the Colts get another win traveling to Jacksonville. Not a good crowd there in Jacksonville, and the Colts get a win.
Jaguars win. It's not close.
Oh, my God.
All right. At Buffalo in week 14. I've got a win here for the Colts. I think it could be close since it's on the road, but
I actually have the Colts losing. I'm winning this game. Sorry. No, I think that's why I was reading the wrong thing. Bills are in a transition period. Rex Ryan's gone. I do have the Colts winning this one. They do have have had a tough defense, and they will rush the quarterback. But I think Luck will play smart this game.
I think it'll be close, but the Colts get a win. Bills aren't looking too good this year, and the Colts get a 3-game winning streak after the bye for me.
I like the Bills winning this one. I don't know. I think Tyrod at home having to start to kind of prove himself because it's getting towards the end of the season. I think the conversation for the Bills, as we talked about, is going to be a lot of is Tyrod the guy. I don't think he's going to start to feel a lot of that pressure, especially as the weeks wind down. So I think Tyrod plays well against an okay defense. I don't think it'll be a blowout or anything. I think it'll be close, but I just think Tyrod's going to have to finally prove himself, and this is a game he can do it.
Week 15 is at home against Denver. Thursday night game, I've got a loss here for the Colts. I think the Broncos defense will be way too much for the Colts' below average offensive line.
I got the Colts winning this one. The Broncos defense is not as good as it has been in the past. And also the quarterback situation in Denver is very iffy. You don't know who's going to be Paxton Lynch or Trevor Siemian. I got the Colts winning.
I don't like the Broncos this year, but I do have a loss for the Colts in Week 14. I think it's a trap game for the Colts, coming off 3 wins, and the Broncos get the win. They always play the Colts close. I think the Broncos pull it out.
I like the Broncos losing. I think, like Zach said with Simeon and Lynch, I'm not a big fan of either of them. I think Simeon's better than Lynch, but I wouldn't take either of them as my guy. I think the Colts play well at home against the Broncos. There's no more Peyton to have to deal with. I think the Broncos struggle this year and come in last in their own division. I just don't think the Broncos have a good season.
Week 16 is at the Ravens in Baltimore, and I've got a win here for the Colts. I think Luck will do well. On the road, it could be tough, but I think he'll do well.
I think that the Colts will lose this game to the Ravens. I think the Ravens do pretty well this year, but since it's on the road, I do have the Colts losing, and this will set up a very key game against the Texans next week for the AFC South.
I do not like the Ravens this year, and the Colts get a win on the road in Week 15.
Yeah, I have the Colts winning this one. I like what the Colts are doing against the Broncos and the Ravens because neither team has that good of an offense, so I think Luck's able to exploit the defense more because I think a lot of the Colts games this year will be low scoring and not much offense from either team. I don't know. I just think the Colts have a little better offense, which will put them top over the Ravens.
All right, Week 17 at home against Houston. I've got a win here for the Colts, and I have the Colts splitting with every single team in their division this year.
I have the Colts winning this game. What I said earlier, I don't think it'll be a competition between the Colts and the Texans. I think it'll be between the Colts and the Titans. But since it's a division game, it'll be a really vital game, and if they're going to win the division in their competition against the Titans. But I do have the Colts winning this game.
Yeah, I think the Colts get the win at home versus the Texans. More important game for the Colts because I think the Texans will be out of it by now, and I think the Colts will be fighting for a playoff position and get it as they finish 10-6.
I think that this is a battle for last place in the AFC South. I think they're both fighting for I think they're fighting to not be last. So I think the Texans win this one. I just think because Watson's not going to have any pressure at this point. I think because their season's over, so he's going to be able to just relax and just play football a little bit more and just kind of do his thing. And so I like Deshaun Watson winning, and I have the Colts finishing 7-9. Not the season that Colts fans are looking for, but I think they have room to improve for sure.
I have a question. How many games do you think Andrew Luck will play this year?
I think he'll play most of them. I don't know. I think the line's good enough now where he won't be dying every game. I think he'll play all 17. Or 16, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Are we going into headline here? Or?
Wait, what did everybody have them going?
I had 7-9.
I had 8-8.
11-5.
10-6.
Two Colts fans very optimistic. The two not Colts fans very not optimistic. That's interesting. I think this season has potential to be boom or bust. So I don't know. I could see why they'd have a good year. I could also see him falling down.
Now backing off. Now that
not at all. I'm just saying it's a boom or bust year for them. I think I think they could have a good year. I think they could have a very worse year than 7-9. I think they have the potential to go 5-11.
Oh my. That is.
They're not that
5-11.
What's the highest they go this year? You think?
The Colts
I think if everything goes right, they can make the playoffs. If everything goes right, everyone stays healthy.
That's their best best scenario.
Yes, they make the playoffs.
At what record?
9-7, 10-6.
Oh my
Best.
goodness.
I think
5
worst
and
case scenario they go 5-11.
The Colts had
That's
the
why I
worst
have-
case scenario the last 2 years and went 7-9 and 8-8.
That's worst case scenario, really.
Yes,
Having
Luck
their
was
best receivers stay
injured
healthy.
all of season, like the whole season. Lacerated kidney.
Okay.
When do quarterbacks get that injury? Never. That was worst case scenario. They went 7-9, 8-8.
All right. I'm just saying, looking at their schedule, going game by game, I could
The
see.
Colts have one of the easiest
Yeah.
schedules in the NFL.
Okay, I mean, you can't say that now. You have no idea. Like you can look from last year if they had the easiest schedule, but teams improved.
These teams got worse.
Yeah, the Titans and Jags got a lot worse.
The Jags are pretty much the same as last season.
Yeah,
but
Calais Campbell and Leonard Fournette, 2 stars on both sides. Potential.
Star?
Calais Campbell's not a defensive end star.
I'm saying Leonard Fournette. He hasn't played a game in the NFL yet.
Neither did Zeke, and people were calling him a star last year. He was the 5th pick in the fantasy football last
Okay,
year.
is Leonard Fournette Ezekiel Elliott?
I think so.
Behind the offensive line. The same one as.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you had Dallas offensive line, I think it'd be
Yeah.
better. But I think
he
yeah,
doesn't.
Yeah,
that's why I think
exactly.
he's the
what I'm saying.
same.
but-
That's why he's the same. All right. Anyway, what's your headline going into this season, Dan?
I have the Colts are ruining Luck's career.
Facts.
Andrew Luck is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but his offensive line and below-average secondary on defense will never give him what he needs for his so-called legacy.
I have.
So-called. I mean, everyone has a legacy.
Okay.
I mean,
Zach.
not a dominant legacy.
Okay,
I guess
Zach.
That's what I meant. Go on.
Zach.
My headline is Better Luck This Time.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a classic. Opponents assigned to have his better luck next time, but I think it's gonna be better luck this time, and with an improved defense, improved offensive line, better GM. I think that they'll bounce back here this year.
My headline is going to be less luck. The Colts have to rely less on Andrew Luck this year and start with a better team that Chris Ballard built this offseason, and will continue to rely less on him, and their record will continue to improve.
I went with a very optimistic headline for the Colts. Get lucky and make the playoffs. Like I said, best case scenario, they make the playoffs, and so I think that's really what they're hoping for, is to make the playoffs and then maybe make some noise in the playoffs. I don't see it, but I think that's best case scenario, and that's why that was my headline.
All right, so now let's move into our top 5 for today. The top 5 head coaches in the NFL currently. So, Zach, what is your number 5 head coach in the NFL right now?
My number 5 is Andy Reid, who's with the Chiefs right now. He's had 3 losing seasons in 18 years as head coach, and he's led the Chiefs to to pretty good records with Alex Smith as their quarterback, who isn't a great quarterback, but I got Andy Reid.
All right, at 5, I've got Sean Payton. He is one of the best offensive minds in the league. Past 2 years haven't been great, 7-9, but also has a Super Bowl on him, so Sean Payton.
I went Jack Del Rio just because of how much he's trending up right now, because he took a team that had 6 wins the year before and then turned him into a legitimate Super Bowl contender. He took over the Raiders with no stars on their team, and now last year you heard all the Super Bowl buzz until Derek Carr went down with an injury. So that's my number 5.
I don't know about Super Bowl buzz, maybe a couple
There was-
playoff wins.
Check ESPN. 3 of the 7 guys that did it had the Raiders in the Super Bowl, and the other 4 the Patriots before Carr went down.
All right, whatever your ESPN people think. But
I don't own ESPN. ESPN is a nationally recognized company.
I didn't. Whatever. My number 5, I'm going to go with Bruce Arians. He stepped in a few years ago when Chuck Pagano went down with cancer for the Colts and did a fantastic job. Got him hired in Arizona and has been great. A down year last year, but they call him the quarterback whisperer. Bruce Arians, my number 5 head coach.
My number 4, I got Mike McCarthy of the Packers. He has the second best winning percentage of any active coach, behind obviously Bill Belichick. He's had double-digit victories in 8 of his 11 seasons with the Packers and only 1 losing season. Some wanted him fired this past season, but that was just absurd. I got him at number 4.
All right, at 4, I've got Bruce Arians. Third best winning percentage, 648 among active head coaches. Players love him. Players coach. Yeah, Bruce Arians.
My number 4, I went Andy Reid. Zach had him at number 5, and just for the same reason. He had 3 losing seasons and 18 as a head coach, including 1 with Jonathan McNabb as a rookie. So, I don't know, it's kind of like a wash there because you had a rookie quarterback, but whatever. I like Reid, what he's doing in Kansas City. I think they won't get better this year, but just in general, he's really built up Kansas City and made them a contender in the playoffs.
Yeah, I also have Andy Reid at number 4. Lots of consistency, and despite having a below-average offense in Kansas City all these years, still manages to have some solid years. Still doesn't have that Super Bowl, though.
At number 3, I got Bruce Arians of the Cardinals. He had his first losing season as the Cardinals coach in 2016, going 7-8-1, and that was a huge disappointment, which shows how good of a coach he is. He was a great intern with the Colts after Chubagano went down with cancer, and I think he's a great coach. He's at my number 3.
Number 3, I've got Mike Tomlin. Of course, has been to 2 Super Bowls and has never had a losing record in his 10 seasons.
I don't really like Mike Tomlin. I feel like he's had a lot of weapons.
I agree. I don't have him in my top 5.
He's had, Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and still hasn't done much.
I don't know if that's on him either because their defense has been bad. I just don't think he's anything special. I think he's done. I think he's done fine with what he has,
right.
But he wouldn't he wouldn't do what Jack Del Rio or Andy Reid have, where they brought teams that were bad and
right.
made them good.
I wouldn't think of him as a top 5.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
Yeah, I agree.
Because of his record,
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's just the team he walked into.
True.
Yeah. At my number 3, I have Pete Carroll, 629 winning percentage. In his 7 seasons in Seattle, 1 Super Bowl victory and was a yard away from the second. So I love what Pete Carroll did in Seattle.
I'm going to agree with Dan for my number 3. Mike Tomlin, lots of consistency, has gone through great defense in Pittsburgh and still made that transition. Now they're a more offense-heavy team and still puts out great teams every year.
My number 2, I got Pete Carroll, the Seahawks. His players love him. He has a 629 winning percentage in his 7 seasons at Seattle. He turned 66 years old in September, which is crazy. I never thought he was that old. But yeah, I got Pete Carroll at number 2.
All right, number 2, I've got Mike McCarthy. Doesn't have a great playoff record with 10-8, but also has a Super Bowl win and second best winning percentage among active coaches.
I have McCarthy at my number 2 also. So, yeah, just what you said, same thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy also at my number 2. Consistency, and despite bad starts from his teams, he continues to turn them around and make them into playoff teams every year with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
At number 1, I think this is pretty much consensus, is Bill Belichick. 5 Super Bowl victories. He's a legend. I think he's undeniably the best coach right now and arguably the best of all time. He is in my mind. Winning percentage of 673, 237 regular season victories, which is 4th all time. And I think he's number 1.
Yep, Bill Belichick at 1. 5 Super Bowl victories. That's basically all you need to know.
Yeah, I have nothing else to add. Bill Belichick.
Although he does like to cheat, Bill Belichick's still great. I mean, he puts everyone in that system every year and gets production out of pretty much anybody that is capable of making the NFL roster. Bill Belichick, great coach.
Yeah, so what's coming up on the sports sermon? Lots of NBA draft stuff coming up in these next few days as the draft is on June 22nd in New York. So, what's coming up for the schedule is tomorrow. We've got the Phoenix Suns. Tuesday, my Los Angeles Lakers. The big board comes out Wednesday, and then our final mock draft, not the one we put out Saturday, but a new one comes out on Thursday. Super in-depth. Don't want to miss it. And then after the draft, we got the Warriors on Friday.
Aren't you one of the drafts?
Yeah, I'm going to the draft. I'm going to try to put some live stuff up there as I'm there. I'm not really sure what yet, whether it's vlogging it. I know, Zach, you told me I should do that. I don't know. Different ideas. If you guys have any ideas, comment on our YouTube or comment on Twitter or whatever. Just let us know.
Tweet at us.
Yeah, tweet at us. Really do whatever you got to do because I love some ideas. I have no problem doing it. Yeah, I just don't really know what you guys want to see because it's televised everywhere. But yeah, if you guys want something for sure, let me know. I will be rocking Alonzo Ball Lakers jersey because that's who I want to take at number 2. But you'll hear all that and a lot more on Tuesday with the Lakers podcast and a lot more coming up this week.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening to the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button. If you want to see the rest of our NFL season previews, our NBA What's Next, and all of our draft coverage this week, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And follow us on Twitter. The link is in the description. We'll post every time we post a new article or a new video. Thank you guys for listening, and stay tuned for our draft stuff this week. See you guys tomorrow.